Hi Flosstube, my name is Kim and I am Barbara's daughter. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I have a lot of things to show you today, tons of progress on my whips and a lot of haul. I had a really good stitchy week. So I'm gonna get started right away with some questions that I had from the last video that I did last Friday. Sherry wanted to know what the pattern of this quilt is hanging behind me, that flag quilt. I did that a long time ago. I think it was like 2003. Let's see, 2002. And so I don't have that pattern anymore. I Google searched it and I did see a YouTube video giving instructions on how to make something that looked very similar to this. So I will link that video in the description box below. I didn't watch the video. I just saw on the thumbnail that it looked like this quilt, and it says it's a wall hanging or a pillowcase. So it just looked like it might work. So you could at least get something similar to it, but I don't know the exact pattern. So I'm sorry, Sherry. Laura wanted to know where she could access the Be Well and Stitch freebie patterns if she's not on Instagram or Facebook. So even if you don't have an account at either of those, you can still type into your Google search the hashtag Be Well and Stitch. You will see results for both Instagram and Facebook, and you can click on them and see those posts even if you don't have an Instagram or Facebook account. They will still come up, or you may just find them in other places as well. So a lot of the designers have them on their blogs or websites, and you can find them that way. So I would just put into a Google search hashtag Be Well and Stitch, all like one word, no spaces. Kathy asked, what is the Blackbird design book with the little motifs on the sampler that you are using? I'm not sure exactly what she meant by that. I think she's talking about how I wanted to make some smalls and using some motifs from Blackbird Designs books in order to do that. So I'll show you in my FFOs some of the smalls that I chose, and I got them from this book, In Friendship's Way by Blackbird Designs, and they came from one of the samplers in here, this 1861 antique sampler. So in my FFOs, I'll show you I finished one of these flower pots, and also actually two of those flower pots and two of the berry baskets. So that's the book that I chose the motifs out of, but pretty much any Blackbird's Design sampler has those little motifs that you could use and just make a small piece instead of doing the whole sampler. Also, someone asked me, and I'm sorry I don't have your name. I didn't write your question out because I wasn't sure I was going to have the answer yet, but somebody asked me what size fabric my mom used, what size she cut the fabric to make this stitching pillow. And I texted her, and she has responded with a 15-inch square is what she started with to make the pillow. So, sorry I didn't remember your name, but that's the answer to your question. I'm going to go ahead and move on to FFOs, and I had 4 very small FFOs that I've already mailed out to some of my stitchy friends, and so I'm going to insert the pictures here. Like I just said, they came from the book In Friendship's Way by Blackbird Designs, and they are 2 of the berry baskets and 2 of the flower basket motifs. I really enjoyed stitching them. They were super quick, got them done in like an hour or 2 each of them, and I used just random thread from my stash, so I don't think I even kept track of which threads I used, but I was excited to get those done really quickly and send them off to some of my stitchy friends. As far as FOs, I have a couple of those. So from the Deck the Halls Strawberry book by Blackbird Designs, I did this one, which is called From Me to Thee. And that's it on a little box. There it is in the berry. The box, I think, is actually a photocopy. They do this thing where they take a photocopy of the stitch piece and they use it to like cover a box or insert into a box. So the berry is actually over here in the bowl. I did mine with more Christmas colors, more bright colors, I should say. And you can see the top, that's what I did last week, that partridge in a pear tree one. So I just had some extra room on the bottom of this piece of fabric. This is a 36 count silk weaver. I don't remember what color it is because it's just an extra scrap I had. And I am using the same threads for all of my Blackbird Designs Christmas strawberries, but they are not the called for threads. They're just from my stash. A couple reds, a couple greens, and a few extra colors in there. So that was one FO. And then I had heard someone talking about the anchor. I'm going to zoom in here. See that anchor in the middle of this sampler by Blackbird Designs? It's called We Live in Hope. And I had not really paid any attention to the anchor. I mean, you buy the book because you buy all the Blackbirds, right? That's Laura's and Brenda's law. But I had put this away. It wasn't something I was going to stitch right away. I love it, but I have so much stuff already kitted. I really need to stitch what I have the fabric and threads for. So I had not really paid any attention to it, but somebody, and I can't remember who it was, mentioned that that anchor was like the prettiest thing she had stitched in a long time. It was so beautiful. So I went back and I looked at it and I said, well, I need a couple more smalls to make into pillows to send to a few people. So I went ahead and stitched that anchor up and I love it. The person that I can't give credit to because I don't remember their name, but the person who mentioned that it was a beautiful anchor is 100% right. I love the way that looks. It's super pretty. And again, I just used floss from my stash. It wasn't the called for colors. And it took me maybe 2 hours to stitch that. It was really quick. So I'm excited to make that into a pillow. And I'll show you what that looks like. Hopefully next week I'll have that made into a pillow and send that away. So those were my FFOs and FOs. So now I'm going to just get my board here so I can show you some whips. I had, like I said at the beginning, a really good stitchy week. I got a lot done. I think it helped that I had some goals. I wanted to get to certain places on my whips, and I think that helped me to get there. So I'm doing Old Nantucket by Little House Needleworks, and I'm probably not going to do the word Nantucket and the birds, all that down here. I think I'm just going to move that border up so that it's right under the whale and the verse there. But we'll see when I get to it. I haven't quite decided yet. So I'm working on that, and I filled in the rest of the roof and outlined all the white in the house, the windows. I did the door and the steps so that now I can go through and just fill in that house. I've been watching a lot of shows at night. We've been staying up a lot later now that we're not working at work. We're working from home. We don't get up as early, so I'm up much later than I usually am. And so when I get tired at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I still want to be stitching, I don't want to make mistakes. So this is a good thing to do at that time. Just fill in because I won't probably make a mistake on that. So that is that one. The next thing I've been working on is Blackbird Designs Summer, Autumn, and Winter, and I was working on Summer. I will put a picture of it here because my working copy was printed out, photocopied on my printer, my old printer. I did get a new printer, but my old printer that did not have good color. So I'm going to put a picture of it here, and you can see I did finish the Summer section. And I also went through and finished the top of the alphabet there. And I did that because I wanted to see exactly how big it was going to be. I went to Hobby Lobby for the first time in months. My mom and I went. And I found an $8 frame there that I'll show you in my haul. It's an 11 by 14 frame. So I wanted to have this part stitched, that whole alphabet across, so I could see if an 11 by 14 frame was going to work. Now this is in 36 count. It's Creme Brulee by R&R. And had I done it on like a 28 count, I think it would fit in an 11 by 14 frame perfectly. But on 36 count, it fits, but there's actually like a lot of space, especially above and below. So I was showing it to my husband, and he's like, oh, well, all you have to do is stitch another little thing down here and another little thing up there. Oh, is that all I have to do? He's making more work for me. So, but I think he's right about that. I think if I take like either this floral border here or the diamond shaped border here and run it under the alphabet and above the alphabet, then I think it will look fine in an 11 by 14 frame. So I'm gonna probably do that, but first I'm gonna work on getting obviously autumn and winter done. This was so nice to stitch. I'm really enjoying this. This is a great pattern to stitch. It's definite comfort stitching. And I love the colors. I'm excited to do the autumn one because I'm kind of itchy to do some fall stitching. And so I just love those oranges and those fall colors. So I'm excited to do the autumn one next. So this week I'm going to try starting that. I don't know that I'll get it done, but at least get a start on that. I also forgot to mention on that Nantucket piece, I'm trying to remember to tell you what I'm using here. Again, 36 count weeks fabric in the color parchment. So just in case you were wondering what that's stitched on. Another thing I worked on was American Sampler. And I was working on that huge house, trying to fill in the bricks. That was another great TV watching project. I had done all the mortar, and so filling in the bricks was easy. The mortar was kind of a pain. You had to really think about it. I did make 1 or 2 mistakes, but left them. It wasn't anything that really messed up the design, so I left them that way. And I was able to finish filling in the red of the bricks. I started the door, but didn't finish it. I did some of the flowers on the side of the house. And I got in my haul a lot of thread, including the pelican gray that I need for this section of the house that goes over here. So this week I'm going to try and finish the house, which is a small section here with a roof, not a roof, it's like a fence on top of the roof of that section of the house, and finish the door. So if I can get that done, I'll be really happy. And then after that, this part is like a tree and 2 people. Show you the pattern. So that won't be too bad, but that grass, I'm really excited about the fence and the bunting, but the grass is going to be another like fill in while watching TV project because that's a lot of green. And the verse, I don't know if I'm going to use that verse or come up with something else or maybe not include it all together. Once I stitch the down to the grass, I'm going to measure it and see what size it is. I probably should have done that ahead of time to see if a standard frame will fit it by any chance. And if I need to manipulate the words to make that happen, I will. My husband is able to make me frames, but he's right now working. We just had a huge delivery of wood to finish our basement. So I would rather him work on that than make me frames right now. So if I can get a frame from the store that's a standard size frame, I'd rather work on that. The last thing I worked on this week was a new start, and it is from a kit, a Dimensions kit called Mason Jar Lineup. A lot of people have stitched this. I think Amy Loves Toads did it with, I think she did like 4 or 5 jars. And what I want to do is do all the jars, but in 3 sections. So there's like a little space here where there's 4 jars you can do together, and then 3 in the middle, and then 3 over here. And I kind of want to do them in 3 separate sections. So I started over here with this pink and yellow and going over to the end. And I just got like 1.5 jars done. Haven't done the flowers yet, but this I'm stitching on a 28 count even weave. I swapped it for the 14 count 80 that was in the kit. I am using whatever number of strands they call for, sometimes 1, 2, 3 strands. I don't love stitching with multiple strands, but I think my stitches look all right. It's working out. So I feel like when you have a kit like this, you kind of have to follow those directions and, you know, whether you like it or not. So I am happy to have a good start on that. I really love the colors of floss that are in this piece. I put them all on thread drops, and I have all the thread drops on the floss tag that my mom made. I don't know if you can see that with the glare. So anyway, I love the colors. Really pretty, really, I don't know, I mean springy, summery. I like it. So that's everything I worked on. As I told you last time, my birthday was recently, so I had a lot of haul because I got some gift cards from my brothers. So I bought some stuff. I had some friends send me something. So I have a lot of haul to show you, and Stitchy Kindness. If that's not your jam, you can check out now. That's fine. But I have a lot of stuff. So I'll start with the gifts I've gotten. Pam from Stitching Between the Lines had sent me this pattern, and she had finished it, and I just commented that I liked it, and she said, oh, well, I'll send it to you. So that was super nice of her. Sorry, I should have taken it out of the bag. I don't know how bad the glare is, but let me do that real quick. So it's called Marquis by Jardin Privé. I don't know how you say that. And she sent me that, so thank you so much, Pam, and make sure you go over and watch Pam's Flosstube. She's stitching between the lines. And then my friend Kathy at To Dye House, that's her Flosstube, she made me a beautiful card on her Cricut, which from last week, I got a new Cricut, so I'm checking this out to see how she did it so I can replicate it. And she sent me thread drops that she had made on the Cricut. Really fun summery colors, and also I don't know what that's called. Is it like a thread drop holder, a tag? I don't know. It says Here Comes the Sun, which I love, and just really pretty colors. So thank you so much, Kathy. It's so nice to get mail and have it be, for you and not a bill and from a friend. So that was really nice to get that. And then my friend Dee sent me a birthday gift, a nice card, and a scissor fob, which is patriotic. Super pretty. Love that. And a Barbara Anna Designs pattern. I'm going to keep that in the, sorry about the glare, but I'm keeping it in the packaging because it has a needle minder on the top. Owl needle minder, very cute. And I told you I'm feeling like I want to get into fall stitching, so this is perfect. It's called Mary Pepper, and I love it. Love the bird. She also sent me the DMC, so I can get started on that right away. So I have to get a bag for that and maybe use these thread drops from Kathy to set that up. Okay, that is all my Stitchy Kindness. Let me grab some of my haul over here. So as I said, I got an $8 frame when I went to Hobby Lobby. Sorry about the glare. So I'm going to put the Blackbird Designs piece, I think, in here. Like that. You can't really tell. Let's see if I can fold that over. I think the color's good. I think it'll look good. But it's not tall enough, so I might have to add more to that, to the stitching. So we'll worry about that once we get that part done. I also got from Crazy Annie's Stitching, my Fabric of the Month Club. This is Picture This Plus 36 Count Fawn. It's a new color. I really like it. It's very, there's a lot of modeling in here. It's a real light base, but has some darker modeling, and it's just really like a regular brown color, I feel like, with tan in it. Sometimes the brown is like a little pink, or there's other colors in it, but I just feel like this is a straight up brown, and I kind of like that once in a while. So got that. I got some patterns. I'm blanking on her first name, but her Flosstube channel is Cow Stitcher, and she's awesome. If you like Priscilla and Chelsea, you should watch her Flosstube channel because she does all of their patterns and a lot of the farmhouse style stitching. So she is doing a sal with this Blessed Bee. It started this Monday. Clearly, I didn't start it on time. I just got this on Monday, actually, and I'm not really good with sals because I don't like to necessarily drop what I'm doing and start something else. So I want to finish some of those whips, but I do definitely want to start this really soon. So I've had my eye on it for a while. I love the colors. It's got a house in it, and I love houses in my stitching. So I'm excited to start that. The other pattern that I got, also something I've seen on other Flosstubers channels and just been interested in doing, is by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and it's called Our Hearts. And I guess maybe it's like supposed to be a wedding sampler or that kind of thing, but I just really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and kit that up eventually. I have a lot of things that I kitted up though with my birthday gift cards. That's what I'm going to show you next. So I think I have to like lay off the purchases for a little while. Remember that I said that because next week I'll probably have more haul. But Needleworker's Delight is now open. By the way, that's my local needlework shop. So Mom and I are going at some point soon. This week is a busy week, so I don't know if I'll have time to go before next Friday, but we're going soon. I need some more Silk Weaver fabric. I had shown you this book in the question section, In Friendship's Way. There are strawberries in here that I really would like to do. There's 5 of them. Not a lot of stitching on each of them. I got the floss to do them. And actually this blue is not the called for color. I picked Old Blue Jeans by Classic Colorworks. They wanted you to use uniform blue. I didn't have it. Then I ordered it. It came in and it looked very similar to this, and I needed uniform blue for something else as well. So I'm just going to keep Old Blue Jeans here with this. I don't have fabric yet to do that, although it might look nice on my new fawn. So we'll see. We'll have to play around. I like to do the strawberries on like scraps of fabric though. This is a nice big fat quarter, so I might not want to chop that up to do the strawberries. I might take a look at what smaller cuts of fabric just I have left over from other things. So that is in, I should show my project bags, right? This project bag that Mom made. I had shown you this project before. It is 272 words, which is the Gettysburg Address. And I had the floss picked out for it, but I had not yet gotten fabric for it because you needed more than a fat quarter. I think if I do it on 36 count, like 26 by 27 inches is what I need. So I got that. And this is Heartland by Picture This Plus, which is actually kind of an appropriate name for the fabric you're doing the Gettysburg Address on. But that's what I'm going to use. And these are my colors. I honestly don't know that I'm going to start this right away. I have a lot of other things that I'll show you coming up that I want to start more urgently than I want to start this. But it's all kitted up and ready to go. So I feel like this would be a good project because it's all words. So I feel like if I do Mania next year, or a time when I am having a new start for like New Year's Day or the first day of summer, or some like reason that I'm having a new start, that would be kind of a good time to start that. I also got fabric and floss for Like a Cherry Blossom, which I'll put a picture of here because I have my terrible photocopy. It was a PDF download, and so I will put that picture up. I bought 36 count light mocha, which is not a hand-dyed fabric, and I did that because it did not seem like she was using a hand-dyed fabric in her model stitch. It's a little darker, this light mocha, than I think what she used, but I really think it's going to look nice with these colors. I am missing the 2 anchor threads. They did not have them, copper and taupe. I may just look at the DMC and see what that looks like. The one color I believe is for the actual cherry blossoms. So we'll see, I'll play around with that. But I would like to start this relatively soon. And I got the floss for her other pattern that I had bought, a Sampler Hope, which is the Emily Dickinson quote. I'll put a picture here of that. I didn't get fabric for it, but I got all the flosses, and I think I have all of them here for this. Where's my board so you can see it better. So I've got the floss for this. I got a ton of floss in the mail, and I had it like all put out to each of the patterns that I thought it went to, and then I ended up with like 6 or 7 floss colors. I have no idea where they go to. Maybe I just like them and I just click. Like, I know Gentle Arts Endive. I just clicked that one and bought it. I was like, oh, it's in stock, let me get it. So that doesn't belong to anything. It's just going in my stash, but I don't know if all 6 of those, that's the case. So I have mystery floss. I bought the pattern, The Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and I purchased that after seeing Amy Loves Toads. Amy had finished hers. This is what the pattern looks like. And it's by Carriage House Samplings. I have wanted to do a Hawk Run Hollow. They're enormous. Here's actually a better picture of it up closer. And I love the colors. She changed the colors in the water that she used, and actually I watched her latest video today, and she so kindly listed all the colors that she used. She must have known I needed to know that. Somebody else actually asked her, I think. But I purchased more of the Weeks 36 count parchment for this because I think it's going to look pretty good with the colors. Now, I am not using the silks because that's a lot of colors, and I am not independently wealthy, so buying all those in silk would not work for me. I think that these colors will look nice on here, and I'm going to use some of the over dyes that Amy suggested for the water, and if I'm stitching it and kind of going along and saying, oh, I don't know if I like that color, I might just swap it out for something else as I go along. But I did put all the called for DMCs on floss drops, so I am prepared and ready to go. This is a huge project. I don't know why I'm so interested in huge projects and I can't do smaller ones, but I do some smaller ones, but I really like the big projects. So I don't know when I'm going to start this, but it's kind of like on my immediate radar. I do want to start it soon. Another thing I got floss for, but not fabric, is Lady Liberty. This is my working copy here. It's Blackbird Designs. It's a drum. A lot of people have stitched this over the past year or so. And I just bought the flosses for it. I don't know what fabric I'll do it on yet. I also don't know if I'm going to do the lady on the top. I really like the design around the side, but I'm not sure I'm into the lady. I could just put some Lady Dot Creates velvet on top or a different design. I'm not sure. So we're going to wait and see on that. And finally, I got the floss for the Blackbird Designs Loose Feather series for the birds. I think I'd shown you all these patterns on a previous video. I'm going to do them in one piece. I got Picture This Plus Sand is the fabric I'm going to use for that. And I bought all of the called for flosses because why mess with Blackbird? They know what they're doing. So I have all those ready. And I just have to say, Weeks Dye Works, love their floss, but hate that they don't cut it into the 1 yard lengths like Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks, because it's not exactly 5 yards. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. So when I put it on my floss drops, they don't look good because I have all these little pieces hanging there. I know, first world problems, right? But I don't know, look, they're straggly. I don't want to cut that off, I don't want to lose that floss, but it would look nicer if they were pre-cut. That's all I'm saying. Not that anyone from Weeks is watching this video, but if you are, consider it. So I really do want to start this soon too. Clearly, I am going to have to quit my job and stitch full-time in order to accomplish all this because I now have, I believe they call it SABLE, Stash Acquisition Beyond Life Expectancy. If I didn't have that before, I definitely have it now. Anyway, I'm really enjoying myself here. I do have a little more time this summer. I only work 2 days a week in the summer. So I'm excited to spend those other 3 days that I was working stitching. And I guess I probably have to do some stuff with my kids once in a while. Fun stuff, but mostly stitching. So I hope that all of you are well and are enjoying your start to summer. And I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.